What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So the Persian wolf Hadichoopan is definitely addressing some of the media outlets out there who are saying that his legs this year are looking kind of downsized, particularly that right leg. And there is finally a chunk in his armor that some of these top competitors are going to exploit. Now one can also say that his waistline is looking kind of big as per his own standards. But this isn't a 7 weeks out physique update from this year's Mr. Olympia. This is most probably taken 2 or maybe even 3 weeks back. And Hadi never had the smallest waistline out there. It has always been that superb waist control and his crazy midsection control that makes him so damn dangerous. So combine that with an amazing vacuum that makes all the difference in the world. And we can all agree that Hadi and Andrew Jagged, they are the two guys who keep their midsection 100% tight at all times when these guys are up on the stage, and they never miss a beat. So the condition here once again looks absolutely bonkers. But the thing is, that is something that we expect from the Persian wolf. The thing that needs to be mentioned here is that his back is also looking a lot better and way more improved in terms of the density and also in terms of width compared to his previous versions. And that we all know was the biggest weakness on Hadichoopan. So he always shines because of his impeccable conditioning. Now he obviously wasn't pleased with the decision of the judges last year crowning Samson Dauda as the Olympia champion because Hadichoopan came in more shredded. But Samson had a lot more size on him and he had a better overall package. So this year's entire hard work, that will come down to that one day in October. Now we cannot expect to see Hadichoopan anything less than 100% this year. And we know once again, he's gonna be in the mix for this year's Olympia title. And anyone out there sleeping on him, they are making a big mistake. Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. So this right here is a picture of the living legend, Jay Cutler from today at the age of 52. So Jay will go down in the history of bodybuilding as a Mr. Olympia champion with some of the greatest legs ever. Not to mention one of the greatest to ever step foot on a bodybuilding stage. And we can still see that quality on his legs even now. And the fact is that the man is able to stay super lean all year round. So that is another thing, which goes to show us how disciplined Jay Cutler still is, even though he has been retired since 2013, so for almost 12 years now. As the Olympia back in 2013, that was his last show. So Jay Cutler repeatedly says that working out is still the best part of his day, and he has been training consistently for more than 30 years now. So people always mention him winning 4 Olympia titles and making the greatest comeback ever back in 2009. When he just shocked the entire bodybuilding world. And by the way, the record of reclaiming the Olympia title after losing it, that still stands even to this day. But very few people out there talk about how many times Jay Cutler placed second at the Olympia level, more than any bodybuilder in the whole of Mr. Olympia history. So he placed second 4 times behind Ronnie Coleman, 1 time behind Dexter Jackson, and 1 time behind Phil Heath. So he could have arguably won 8 Olympia titles if it wasn't for Ronnie Coleman standing in his way. But that being said, he enjoys a legendary status in the bodybuilding community, which is 100% deserved. Joseph Palacios aka Joe the Machine and his 5 years transformation, that has to be one of the most impressive ones today. A solid 80 pounds of quality muscle gained in this time span. And do you guys know what really makes him the breakout star of this year? The guy is just 27 years old and he has some of the best chest and some of the most complete backs in the entire pro league at the moment in the men's open. And sure, the general public who do not have enough knowledge on how pro bodybuilding really works, they're gonna say he looked better back in 2020. But it's a very simple fact. Joseph isn't trying to appeal to the general public. The man is on his way to earn his Olympia ticket, and with the way his physique has changed, there is no reason to doubt why he won't be able to win a show next year and qualify for the Olympia. All he needs at this point is more quad sweep, more volume on his legs from the front. And that is something which will make up for his wider waistline and two of the poses, which kind of makes him vulnerable. The front double and the front lat spread, they're gonna become a lot better and a lot more competitive. So who else agrees that Joe's back double biceps, that is probably one of the best in the entire men's open at the moment. Probably right behind the mutant Nick Walker and Derek Lunsford. He has those ideal low lat insertions. The lower half is pretty damn impressive. The hamstrings and the glutes, they were absolutely ripped, and he also had enough size there. So this was only his second year as an IFBB pro, and from being totally unknown, he earned quite a big name for himself at this year's Tampa Pro and Texas Pro. Next up, we have a 3 weeks out physique update from Louis Breed. Now that's the type of physique which is gonna be polar opposite of guys like Quinton, Sergio, Theo and Mark Hector. A perfect definition of a true mass monster. A guy who always comes in super peeled with that rock solid granite-like conditioning. So there is nothing pretty and aesthetic about his physique, but the ability to just get hot and dry that can certainly expose a lot of these guys, especially if they miss their mark in terms of conditioning. So this is another guy who is coming in with full confidence that he's gonna punch his Olympia ticket at this upcoming Italy Pro show. But realistically speaking, he will be needing some help from all of these other guys to have a shot at the title. So Louis returning to the stage, and that too so fast, and that too bringing his all-time best. That itself is kind of a miracle, considering the fact that he was in a hospital because of a car crash just a few months back, and the injuries that he sustained, they could have been career-threatening. So Italy Pro is turning out to be one hell of a show. So how high do you guys think Louis can place at this upcoming show? So Justin Shier also posted a physique update, roughly 3 weeks after ending his competitive season, and after doing only one show. And that was like one of the biggest disappointment of this entire year, especially for Justin himself. Because just imagine a guy who said he's coming to win this show, and he ended up in 13th place, and that too after taking such a long off season. And honestly, he deserved higher placing, and he kind of got overlooked by the judges. But let's say he placed top 10 or even top 9, this simply would not have made any kind of difference. So regarding his run back in 2023 and how he won Chicago Pro, and that was just his pro debut, we have to be honest here. He was kind of lucky in a sense that it was one of the weakest lineup of that entire year, and Justin at that time had good enough shape, plus some amazing standout body parts like the arms and the legs, and that is why he got first place at that show. And he has got a lot of work to do in order to get back on the Olympia stage, because he came in way better here in Tampa Pro, and I'm gonna say in terms of everything. The size, the conditioning, every single aspect of bodybuilding was improved, but somehow the judges failed to see that. But the comparison pictures, they do not lie. But the judges, on the other hand, they did not find him good enough to even place him in the top 10. Now, obviously, everyone can see that Justin needs to bring up his back, and that too big time. But he also needs more overall size, more mass and more muscle all over his frame, because his side shots are also very underwhelming, especially when he stands next to all of these bigger guys. So what is he aiming to do different during this next off season? Well, he wanna stay leaner and pack on more quality muscle and not do a dirty bulk unlike last year. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.